Hello, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. I hope you're well. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Jen with Timeline Tarot, and this is your prediction for July 2026. It is a collective general reading, so as the messages come through today, please take what fits and please leave what doesn't, because if it's not your message, it simply means it is meant for someone else to hear. And please check your other placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. And if you're not sure what those placements are, in the description box of this video right here, is a link where you can obtain your free birth chart. With all of that said now, let's begin. I found this to be really interesting. I'm getting a lot of songs yesterday and today during meditations. And for today, for your reading, I thought it was, I don't know, kind of unique. I'm part of the Aquarius collective there as a rising. It was Alanis Morissette, You Learn. I actually brought the lyrics up on my monitor here. And specifically what came to me was, you live, you learn, you love, you learn, you cry, you learn, you lose, you learn, you bleed, you learn, you scream, you learn. I feel like July for a lot of us in the Aquarius collective is just a feeling of zen, a feeling of peace, a feeling of being grateful for how far we've come. I think a lot of us, a lot of you have gone through a very difficult chapter or something that proved itself to be difficult, but I think you conquered it, or you're very close to conquering it, and it looks like there's a new chapter, a new beginning here unfolding for you. I think you're getting out of chaos and conflict, and there's a feeling here of appreciation for everything that you've gone through in this last chapter. So I don't know if that'll come through in your reading today, but I felt like someone out there watching this needed to hear that. So now, with all of that said, let's begin. Tapping into the Aquarius collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. What does Aquarius need to know for July 2026? We're not going to take it. They fell face down. What does Aquarius need to know for July 2026? One more shuffle here. Thank you. In the heart of your spread, we have the Death card. I knew it. I knew there was an ending here for a new beginning. In the top row, we have the Fool. There's your new beginning, baby. Followed by the Chariot and the Eight of Swords. Flanking the Death and the Rebirth card is the Eight of Wands, as well as the Four of Wands. Good news, good offer here coming in for you. Bottom row, Nine of Wands, Seven of Wands, and the King of Swords. And that's you, whether you're masculine or feminine. All right, sneak peek now into August, the Moon. Five of Swords. Six of Swords. That leaves the Four of Cups, the Hermit, and the Magician here at the bottom of the deck. Right, let's clarify this. I'm super excited to get into this reading for you. My voice is a little hoarse, a little coarse, if you will, from doing all of the readings today, but bear with me, please. I'm using the After Tarot deck to clarify your message, and if you're not familiar with this deck, the images on it are a little bit different. It does alter or change the meaning of the cards, and we'll go through them as necessary in your reading today. With all of that said, now let's begin. Tapping into the Aquarius collective now, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. For July 2026, we are clarifying the Fool, the Chariot, Eight of Swords, Eight of Wands, Death and Rebirth, Four of Wands, Nine of Wands, Seven of Wands, and the King of Swords. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Boy, this new beginning just really wanted to show itself. The Fool is clarified by the Ace of Wands. The Chariot is clarified by the Six of Pentacles. The Eight of Swords is clarified by the Knight of Swords. The Eight of Wands is clarified by the Five of Pentacles. The Death and Rebirth card is clarified by the Page of Wands. The Four of Wands is clarified by the Three of Wands. The Nine of Wands is clarified by the Hermit. The Seven of Wands is clarified by the Queen of Swords. And the King of Swords is clarified by the Moon. A little sneak peek again into August. High Priestess. Death card again. And the Hangman. That leaves the Two of Cups, the Star, King of Wands, and the Lovers here at the bottom of the deck. I don't know what you've gone through. I've gone through a lot in the last chapter of my life. Maybe for some of you, this is in regards to a relationship, whether it's professional, platonic, romantic. For others of you, it could be health related. I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving a medical reading. You would already know if you are well on the way to recovery. I just feel here like there's a chapter here that's wrapping up, closing up. Death is a very transformative process. When we're talking about one chapter of our lives ending and another one beginning, it's usually not an overnight thing. So I just feel like you are in the in-between. Okay, you're in the in-between of leaving behind a difficult situation, environment, connection. Let's just call it chapter to make it easier to clean up your reading a bit. Leaving behind that difficult chapter and just on the precipice of the new. So your overall energy for July is like, now that the worst is over, or now that the worst is almost over, where do I want to go next? What do I want to do next? So again, this could be career and finance, love and romance, or just another difficult, experience that you've had in your life. Now that it's like wrapping up, it's like, what's next, right? That Page of Wands is a card of inquiry. I usually call that card like the Lewis and Clark adventure there of tarot. So now that you're leaving behind this difficulty, what's next on the horizon? In the top row, we have the Fool to the Ace of Wands. This is the new beginning. I'm excited for the new. It's a very freeing energy here. Chariot to the Six of Pentacles. The worst is behind me. In the After Tarot deck, the Six of Pentacles, a person actually is walking away from being breadcrumbed. So it could be a job that just didn't pay you adequately, a relationship where there was breadcrumbing. It could be health related. Again, it's not a health reading. It's just whatever this difficult chapter was, you now can visually see yourself moving on from it and moving into the new. And then we have that Eight of Swords there to the Knight of Swords. Those doubts, fears, those anxieties. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can overcome this. I don't know if I can, if I have the skills required, right, to master this difficult chapter. And then it's like, hell yeah, I do. So the doubts, the fears, the anxieties, the insecurities, I feel like they're just, you're literally just slaying them away. There's a feeling here of progress. A feeling here of moving forward. Eight of Wands to the Five of Pentacles. In the After Tarot deck, the Five of Pentacles is coming out from being in a state of lack. So this is improved health. This is improved finances. This is improved even emotional fulfillment in regards to maybe a connection here in your life. Four of Wands to the Three of Wands. Boy, are you moving very quickly. If you haven't seen my readings before, well, if you have, welcome back. And if you haven't, howdy, howdy. But typically for me, the wand suit, it begins with that Ace of Wands, this spark of this idea, okay, this creative endeavor. And then it's presented to us, or we create it, or we have the possibility to create it. And then we're at the Two of Wands. And Two of Wands is like, I don't know if I want to do that, or I don't know if I'm ready for that, right? I don't know if I want to move in that direction. But the Three of Wands is, I've made the decision. So once we make the decision, we're either actively going out, because again, it's the fire suit of tarot, and that is taking action, especially on one's own behalf. So that Three of Wands is the Sun in Aries. Again, Aries, me, myself, and I. You're either moving forward now to create this opportunity, to obtain the opportunity, or you've put all the hard work in and now you're just waiting for it to come to you. But look at that, the Three of Wands to the Four of Wands, because once the opportunity comes in, we move into the Four of Wands. So this is a big life shift here, a big life change for the Aquarius collective. Nine of Wands to the Hermit. Remember that Alanis Morissette song that it's almost like what didn't kill you make you stronger, right? So the Alanis Morissette song that I channeled there for you during meditation, this is you looking at that very difficult chapter here. And again, you're all the more wiser for it. There's a feeling of Zen. There's a feeling here of calm. I've survived the worst. The storm is over. And maybe it was a difficult chapter, but I've learned a lot of new things. And most importantly, I learned a lot about my own resilience. Seven of Wands to the Queen of Swords. There's a decision here that you're making towards the latter part of the month. We're going to clarify this more to see what this is for you. But for me, queens exist in the present. They process the present. They process the past. Kings then take action. It's not hierarchical. It's not masculine versus feminine. It's just how I look at the suit of cards in tarot. So again, there's a decision here that you need to make. You're sort of keeping it to yourself. You're like insulated here in this bubble. Not sure if you want to do this. But then the Moon to the King of Wands, you do decide to move forward because, again, kings take action. But I don't think you're telling a lot of people about it because it's sort of hidden in the energy of the Moon. So that'll be curious to see what that's all about. But let's begin to clarify death and rebirth. Clarify death and rebirth here for the Aquarius collective. Clarify death and rebirth. Tell me about this chapter that is closing out, wrapping up here. Almost done. One more shuffle. Thank you. We have the High Priestess. We have the Page of Pentacles. And we have the Star. Bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Wands. So this has been, this chapter, not only have you learned a lot from it, but you're whether it's religious or your spiritual beliefs, increased. So maybe you found yourself talking to God or talking to the universe a little bit more during this time. I feel like it was an enlightening period for you, regardless how difficult it was. What precedes the star card is card number 17 in tarot. What precedes it is card number 16, which is the Tower. So there was something shocking, right? Something came to an end, or some terrible news, right, arrived at your doorstep. So there's been a lot of healing and a lot of enlightenment here. Page of Wands, clarify the Page of Wands. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Page of Wands is clarified by the Sun. Talk about enlightenment. 8 of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups. Bottom of the deck, the 7 of Pentacles. Yeah, there's something here about now the goal, because you're coming out of whatever this has been. Now the goal seems to be, now that I'm wiser, now that I understand what long-term happiness really means for me. And you probably would not know what that 10 of Cups is for you had you not gone through this period. You had an idea, but I feel like it took an ending, or it took a radical change in your life for you to maybe have some gratitude. Don't be offended by that. Like I said, I'm an Aquarius rising, but there is something here about being grateful for what you've gone through and understanding or having a better comprehension now of what true emotional contentment really means. This is like valuing yourself more, valuing family more, really understanding true happiness. The Fool. Clarify the Fool. Clarify this new beginning. You're so much wiser now than you were before. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Fool is clarified by the 2 of Swords, the 6 of Wands, and the 4 of Cups. Bottom of the deck, we have the 4 of Swords. So again, remember what I was saying, how like death is such a transformative process. It's not an overnight. This is not overnight for you. Okay, this new beginning, you've seen the light at the end of the tunnel, but it's taken you a long time to get to the light at the end of the tunnel. Like when you began this, you couldn't even see the light. You were blindfolded. And then the 6 of Wands, there was the I see the light. Notice how she's seeing the lights. So now I see the light, but now I'm in the waiting period. 4 of Cups, waiting for it. All right, clarify that Ace of Wands. So you can see that the end is in sight for a difficult chapter in your life. One more shuffle here. Thank you. The Ace of Wands is clarified by the 6 of Wands. There's that victory. The 10 of Swords, I told you. The Ace of Swords, bottom of the deck, the King of Cups. So as the light is drawing near, the dark is getting further away, right? So I definitely have caught you, if this is your reading, right in the middle, literally in between. Like 1 foot in the old world, 1 foot in the new world. And I don't know how long this process will be for each of you, but there's a recognition here on your part in the month of July that you are moving towards the new. You now can see the new, okay? There's a spotlight on it. You can see it. It's just not, it's not within your reach yet, but you can now see it. It's visually there. And the closer you get to it, the further away you're getting from that other chapter that is definitively closing out. Chariot. Tell me about the Chariot. Tell me about the Chariot. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Chariot is clarified by Judgment. It's a judgment call you're making. Temperance and the 3 of Cups. Bottom of the deck, we have King of Wands. Again, kings take action. So your judgment call is no matter how long it takes for me to get to that Ace of Wands, that's where I'm headed. You're not standing still and you're not going back, Aquarius. Clarify that 6 of Pentacles, which again, in the After Tarot deck, you're leaving this behind, this job, this position, this community, this house, this relationship, maybe a marriage for some of you. Just as I said that, the 7 of Wands and Queen of Wands came out of the deck. And then we have the Empress. Bottom of the deck, we have the 2 of Pentacles. That's really interesting. So there's a feeling here where there's someone, okay, each of you have at least one person that does not really want to see you move on. So I don't know, maybe you've had a terrible health scare and now you're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel and maybe you want to relocate. And you're like, you know what, life's too short. Let's pack up our bags and move to Malta. But there's someone there, maybe it's, it's your partner, maybe it's your children, maybe it's your community. there's at least one person here that's just not, I mean, they're happy that you're coming out of this dark time, and you're moving towards something better, but there's a little resistance here on their part that they're being left behind, like that you would be leaving the community. Same thing if this is a job. Like now you know the job you're going to, maybe you've given your notice at this job, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, however long, you know, you have to give notice for. You have at least one coworker here. It's not that they're not happy for you're happy. They're not happy that you're moving on. So you have at least one person here that you are moving on from, and they're not happy. Again, I think they're happy for you. I think they're happy for you. They're just not happy that wherever you're going into that next chapter, it does not include them. 8 of Swords. Tell me about the 8 of Swords. Tell me about the 8 of Swords. One more shuffle. Thank you. For some of you, this could be an ex, okay? Where now you're like, maybe the divorce is wrapping up or you're relocating. 3 of Wands, 4 of Wands. It could be the ex here that really doesn't want you to move on again. They're happy for you. But there's, I don't know, that 7 of Wands to the Queen of Wands, there's like a little resistance there. 8 of Swords is clarified by the Page of Swords, the Page of Cups, and the Empress. You showed up both times here as the Empress, whether you're masculine or feminine. So again, this new life, it's like it's been in gestation. Like it's been growing. You've been nurturing it. But in this Empress deck, it's like you're not pregnant anymore. Again, it doesn't matter what gender you are or how you identify. But I do think that you are receiving communication here from someone. I think you're, whoever this person is that you're leaving behind or you're giving notice to, there's some kind of communication from this individual. Tell me about the Knight of Swords. Tell me about the Knight of Swords here. One more shuffle. Thank you. Knight of Swords is clarified by the 4 of Swords, the Magician, and the Page of Pentacles. Bottom of deck, 8 of Swords. There's an offer opportunity here to stay. So let's say you give your notice at work. They're giving you a counter offer to stay. Something like that here is happening. You tell your spouse, I've recovered from this health thing. Now, you know, I want to move. And they're giving you some idea. Well, maybe we can still stay here. We could sell the house, but we could relocate somewhere else. Like maybe to be closer, like we'll stay close to the kids or close to the family. So we can downsize the house, but let's not leave the community. It could be an ex for some of you. I'm curious to see what that is because it looks like whatever it is, you're still a no to it. You're determined based upon your next chapter that you're moving forward into the new chapter, regardless of what this person here seems to be offering you. 8 of Wands. I love how the stories unfold when I do the monthly readings. Tell me about the 8 of Wands. One more shuffle. Thank you. 8 of Wands is clarified by 5 of Pentacles. You're saying no to this. Queen of Swords and the Knight of Swords. That communication here that you receive. Knight of Swords. You're saying no. Bottom of deck, 5 of Wands. So there's a little bit of a dispute here or a disagreement because you're resolute in this decision. Because of what I've gone through, this is unsustainable. I now know what happiness is. I know the direction I want to move in. That I could see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I am separating from this situation, this environment, this job, this community, this person. And like I said, you have one person here that doesn't want you to move forward, move on. Maybe that's a decision here that you need to make. Tell me about that 5 of Pentacles, because again, in the After Tarot deck, you're coming out of a state of lack. You're not settling. One more shuffle. Thank you. 5 of Pentacles, clarified by the 4 of Pentacles. Yeah, look at that. You're letting go. Justice and the King of Cups. Bottom of the deck, you have the Strength card. So whatever this person here is offering you, Page of Swords to that Page of Cups, right? They're offering you a cup, offering you an Ace of Cups. Again, here we see them communicating with you. Mercury is, Magician is mercurial energy. So it's like before you go, and that 4 of Swords, like they're coming to talk to you before you go. Mercury rules communication. So they're saying to you, here's an offer, an opportunity. Something like, I don't know, kind of get you to change your mind or an alternative perspective, if you will. But you're like, no, my mind is made up. I'm letting go of blank. Situation, environment, connection, job, community, house, whatever it is. Because the 4 of Pentacles, something you've been holding on to, is met with the scorpionic energy here. So you're like, no, This is the right, fair, balanced thing for me to do. I see your offer. The King of Cups is pouring it out. So you seem to be a no, and there's a little bit of a disagreement here with this person. Now, I'm going to throw this out there for some of you. If you're going through a divorce, and it's probably for one of you watching, but if you're going through like a divorce, or maybe the divorce is final, but there's still something here in regards to like a joint property, there could be a dispute here because you're like, the house is up for sale or whatever. Maybe the, investment property is up for sale, and there's an offer that comes in, and you're like, I'm taking the offer. And they're like, no, 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 no. Like, just like, don't take the offer. We could wait for a better offer. And you're like, no, we're taking this offer. Like, I want to wipe my hands clean of this. So there's something here where you are determined to wipe your hands clean of it. So regardless of what this person suggests or recommends, they're like, no, this is my decision here is final. 3 of Wands to the 4 of Wands. Like, I need to move forward with my life. 4 of Wands. Clarify the 4 of Wands. So I feel like that's the decision here that you're making. One more shuffle. Thank you. 4 of Wands is clarified by the Hierophant, the 7 of Cups, and the Ace of Wands. Bottom of the deck, the 4 of Pentacles. Whatever this is here for you, something here that you're like, you're leaving behind because you're moving towards the new. I want to know a little bit more about this, but I feel like you have someone here resisting you on this, okay? 3 of Wands. Like they think you're moving too fast, or you're making a bad decision, or they're giving you an offer to stay. One more shuffle. Thank you. 3 of Wands is clarified. I told you, Page of Cups. And there's that Page of Cups here. So this is the energy of the person. They're trying to get you to stay. 2 of Wands to change your mind. Lovers, they want you to change your mind. King of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Could be a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Doesn't have to be. But they're coming up with an alternative idea or another plan or another suggestion, something like that, to get you to change your mind, to get you to consider them, to consider their offer, to consider staying. So this seems to be now where you're going within, and you're doing like this introspective work, if you will. 9 of Wands. Tell me about the 9 of Wands. One more shuffle. Thank you. 9 of Wands is clarified by Queen of Pentacles, 4 of Swords, and the 4 of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, 8 of Pentacles. So this pauses you for a second. You're not an immediate no. You're a let me think about this. You're a let me think about this. Hermit. Clarify the Hermit, doing some soul searching, going within, trying to determine or decide what is best for you. One more shuffle here. Thank you. The Hermit is clarified by the 7 of Pentacles, the 3 of Swords, and the 7 of Swords. Bottom of the deck, Knight of Pentacles. Your answer is no. I'm not doing that again. Because whatever I'm coming out of, I now know what I want. And I know, at the very least, that this is not what I want. You could put a little more sugar on a pile of shit, but it's still a pile of shit. I'm sorry if the cross watcher's watching. But they could try to sweeten the deal. We'll give you a couple more bucks an hour. Oh, let's not sell the house for this dollar amount. What if we get an offer that's for $10,000 more? And you're like, no, I just want to wash my hands clean of this. So there's something here where you're deciding, okay, in that 7 of Pentacles, that you are moving forward with this new opportunity. 3 of Swords. The swords are out of the heart. So you're not doing this because you're trying to get back at them, or you're wounded, or it's not coming from wounded pride or wounded ego. You're like, no, in order for my life to heal, in order for me to be whole, I need to move forward with this next chapter of my life. I can see it. I've been waiting for it. I didn't go through all of this to figure out what happiness truly is for me, to now have it in sight, only to walk it back and stay where I'm at, or to return to something that doesn't make me happy. 7 of Swords. I'm not doing that again. In the After Tarot deck, you're like, I'm not, based upon my past experience, I'm looking back there. Last time I made that decision, 2 of Swords, I walk away with 5 of Swords. I sabotaged myself. So I'm not making that mistake again. 7 of Wands. Tell me about the 7 of Wands, which I just kind of think is like you going within in that bubble, trying to make that decision. One more shuffle. Thank you. 7 of Wands, clarified by the Sun. Whenever I say something and I get an ace or a major arcana card, it's like, hell yes. And the Sun card for me is like all 4 aces in one. So we get the Sun card, we get the 9 of Pentacles, and the World card. It's best for me to close this out. Ace of Cups. And that is the truth. Ten of Swords. We go right back to this Ten of Swords. No, I have to do this. No, we're selling the property. No, this is my resignation letter. That's what it is. No, we're getting a divorce. It's final. We're not going to walk back. No, we're selling the investment property. I'm canceling the lease. You're very resolute. Now, you do pause for a second. So if the cross watcher is watching, I don't feel like Aquarius gave this decision a 5-second glance. This is your, good portion of your month here is contemplating this, ruminating on it, going within. And then your decision here is absolute and final. Queen of Swords. I'm not going back to that. Clarify the Queen of Swords here. One more shuffle. Thank you. Queen of Swords is clarified by the King of Swords. What I say, queens process the present, process the past. They take action, and then you take action on your own behalf. Judgment is a judgment call you make. Wheel of Fortune. I'm moving forward in my life. Yeah, this whole thing, I went right back to those lyrics. I've lived and I've learned, and I've loved and I've learned, and I've cried and I've learned, and I've lost and I've learned. And there's no need to go back to, I've learned that I'm the hermit. When it comes to the situation, environment, connection, community, I've learned. Because of what I've gone through, I'm wiser, stronger, better, smarter. So if I'm going to make a decision and move forward, which I already have, there's no need for me to go back. So King of Swords, you're continuing to move forward here towards the new chapter. And there's a little trepidation. There's a little nervousness. I remember my father's an Aquarius. If you're watching, Dad, hi. I remember my dad having this back in December. He's 84, God bless. And my dad, he worked literally until like the last day in December. And he was contemplating, this gives me that feeling. He was contemplating, maybe I should just formally retire. And I was like, maybe you should. Maybe you should enjoy a little bit of life just for you. And he really enjoyed his job. And there was that going back and forth of like, well, maybe he should stay. He was a crossing guard. It was like his retirement job, post-retirement job, because he just wanted to stay active. And then he just got to his decision was like, no. Like my whole life I've worked. Like this guy started working like when he was 8 years old or something like that. And it's like, no, whatever life I have left, I want to be happy. So I just feel like no matter what they're coming in and offering you here to stay, the feeling here is sort of like my dad was back in December, right? I don't know what full retirement looks like, right? It's uncharted territory, King of Swords to the moon. But if I don't try it, I'll never know. I already know what this is, right? I already have lived experience, learned experience, and I know it's just not for me anymore. So even though I can't see exactly what is coming, it has to be better than that. Because remember, I'm seeing the light in the distance. One more shuffle here. Thank you. King of Swords is clarified by strength. The Seven of Pentacles, planting a new seed. Six of Pentacles, that is the truth. Wheel of Fortune at the bottom of the deck. So you're choosing now to plant a new seed in a new direction, move towards a new offer, new opportunity, new chapter, new life, if you will. The moon. Clarify the moon. Some doubts, fears, anxiety, right? Especially like you're leaving one job for another, leaving one community for another. We always have that unknown, going from working to being completely retired. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Nine of Wands, the Five of Wands, and the Three of Cups. Bottom of the deck, Eight of Wands. I don't know where I'm going, but it has to be a hell of a lot better than where I've been. Sorry, cross-watcher. That's the feeling here. There's no argument here within you. Five of Wands, no one's arguing. The Nine of Wands. I've learned, I've gleaned all the information that I needed to get out of that situation, environment, or connection. There's nothing left. There's nothing left for me to learn there. And so it's a no-brainer that the next chapter, the next cycle must be better than what I'm leaving behind, because if that was good, I would have never even contemplated leaving it. What else do we need to know? Oh, let's look at August. Clarify the moon. So the moon carries over. Five of Swords, those doubts, fears, and anxieties, you quickly move on from them. Okay, so they don't last. They don't linger long. Linger longer. Tell me about the moon to the Five of Swords to the Six of Swords. One more shuffle. Thank you. Two of Wands, that decision that you made back here. Page of Wands, that's how you started out. This feeling of exploration. And the Knight of Wands. Man, are you excited for the new? Bottom of the deck, the Devil, the Eight of Cups, and the Knight of Cups. I'm going to clarify this for you. Devil, Eight of Cups, Knight of Cups. I don't know if this is maybe this person here from your past coming once again with another offer. I'll clarify that for you. But the Two of Wands, the Page of Wands, the Knight of Wands, in August, you're feeling really good that you have made this decision. Clarify the High Priestess, the Death card, and the Hangman. Again, that feeling is, upon reflection, I'm so glad that this is over, almost coming to an end. I'm at the new job. I'm moving forward. I'm selling the house. One more shuffle. Thank you. Nine of Pentacles, single, free, independent, loving your life, Ace of Cups, new beginning, and the Tower. There's a sense of relief here with the new chapter that right now you're only, I don't want to say imagining, but you're assuming that the next chapter will be better or lighter or happier or more loving. You're not actually going to feel it until August. In August, it ripples through your life like a shockwave. The independence, the loving yourself, the taking care of yourself, feeling grounded, feeling so grateful that you didn't go back or that you continue to persist and move forward. Clarify what I just saw here at the bottom of the deck. Please clarify that. Clarify that, please, at the bottom of the deck. One more shuffle. Thank you. Eight of Cups shows itself again. Nine of Cups and the Ten of Wands. Bottom of the deck, Three of Wands, the Emperor, and the Devil. Yeah, okay, so whoever it is that you're leaving behind, they're still keeping an eye on you. It's like, you know, watching someone walk out the door. Watching you walk out the door. Literally like pack your bags and walk out the door. Are they doing or saying anything? Can we clarify that more? Eight of Cups, Nine of Cups, Ten of Wands. Are they doing or saying anything? Nine of Cups shows itself again. Temperance and the Two of Cups. Bottom of the deck, Four of Cups. I don't think you get anything out of this person. There might be a goodbye. Did I get that right on that goodbye? I just see like the hugging goodbye, like a last time type of thing. Did I get that right? Something here about a goodbye. One more shuffle. Thank you. Seven of Swords, Three of Wands, and the Six of Cups. Bottom of the deck, the Hermit. There's one last effort, if you will. One last effort to get you to not move forward in that Three of Wands. One last thing. Trying to get you to stay. What is that last thing? The Devil. Something tempting. The Four of Cups and the King of Wands. You're rejecting it. Okay, whatever this is. You see it for what it is. You're rejecting it. But there is one last thing here. I thought for a second there they were wishing you well. But it looks like their hope here is to stop you from moving towards something or someone that you see here as your Nine of Cups. So there's one last ditch effort here to try to manipulate you to stay. I have to go into a third deck now because those cards are just too much at the bottom there. What is this person's intention in August? What is their intention in August? Let's get one more shuffle. Thank you. What's their intention? Four Swords to get you to stop. Ace of Cups to get you to stop, to become very passive. Okay, to get you to pause about moving towards that new thing, that Ace of Cups. You have a little class 5 clinger here. Seven of Swords. I've used 3 different decks, okay? So there's a little deception, a lot of deception here to try stopping you from moving forward. We'll just call it the new chapter. I don't know if it involves another love or a new job, whatever it is, okay? It's something very deceptive here to get you to stop so you don't move towards the new. And the Seven of Swords is you, actually. It's the third decan in Aquarius. So every zodiac sign is broken up into decans, first, second, third. So this is like the final. Like just as you're like literally getting comfortable, being happy, moving towards the new, finalizing something here, it's like a last minute, last ditch effort, okay, to try to get you to stay. Advice for Aquarius on that? Advice for Aquarius on that. One more shuffle. Thank you. Your advice, 10 of Wands, Knight of Swords, and that 6 of Wands. Bottom of the deck, Page of Pentacles. See it for what it is. It would be a burden for you to return to this. There's that Knight of Swords, that communication. They sort of want victory here. You can also see this as ego. Okay, their ego is hurt or bruised because you're finalizing this and you're moving forward and your next chapter does not include them. So there could be a little bruised ego here. For some of you, Page of Pentacles, Two of Swords, and the Queen of Swords are trying to get you to change your mind about the decision here that you made. Anything else about that Seven of Swords? Don't take it. It is the Six of Pentacles. So it is that person that you're moving on from. Anything else about the Seven of Swords? One more shuffle. Thank you. So the deception, Ace of Pentacles, the Empress, that's how you came out. And look at that, Tower to the Page of Wands. It's literally to stop you from moving forward. It's a new offer, a new promise, you know, the raise, the idea, something here to get you to stop in your tracks so you don't move forward. Please just keep that in mind, okay? So you have a little bit of a class 5 clinger here, or someone who's just very pushy, okay? You have someone who's very pushy here. Let's get you some oracle cards and we'll close it out with some kippers. Three oracle cards here, please, for Aquarius. One more shuffle. Thank you. To put it in context, I'll give you an example of what I'm going through and what I anticipate going through now that I see this, because it kind of started already for me last month. I'm divorced. Okay, I've been divorced 3 years now, separated for 6, divorced for 3. There's a property that we don't joint own it. In the divorce process, I got it. It's like worth crap. It's worth like $25,000. There's like no value to it. But my ex-husband has items inside. And I've been asking him for months now, you need to remove the rest of your items because I need to sell that property. And he's delaying it and delaying it and delaying it. Do I think he wants me back? No. But I do think he's trying to sabotage my new beginning. So there's something like that happening for some of you. So again, I'm just sharing with you what I'm currently going through. You can extrapolate that and apply that to your life how you see fit. It's just like this person doesn't want you to move on. I don't really know if they want you to move back towards them. They just don't want you to move away from them or to do better than them or to be happier than them. So keep that in mind. Let's get you 3 cards here. One more shuffle. Thank you. Trust. You're going to have to trust yourself here, okay? Establish trust in yourself. When you make this decision here, this is you presently and you and your future self. So you're making a promise here to your future self. I am moving towards you. Remember that light at the end of the tunnel? So keep your promise that you're making to yourself. Own your path. Take responsibility for your journey, making choices that align with your true self and your true purpose. And there's that winding road here that you're on, okay, this new path. Then you have adventure. Brace adventure and accept the uncertainties in life. It's taking that leap of faith towards the new. Bottom of the deck, we have exploration. Brave exploration of the unknown and expand your horizon. So move forward. Don't allow this person to keep you stuck. There's a big wide world out there. And this person should not try to like pigeonhole you or keep you stuck. Let's get you 3 cards here. 3 more oracle cards here. One more shuffle. Thank you. We have eternal knot. You are interconnected. Strengthen bonds with those around you. So stay connected or deepen your bonds to the people who are supporting your new path. And that eternal knot always reminds me of the eternal knot necklace that my person gave me years ago when we started dating. So there's something like I'm leaning on him, right? I'm strengthening, or this is helping to strengthen my bond with him. And then we have the sacred circle, unity and protection. You are part of a greater whole. So I feel like you are protected here. There's also something here again about you protecting your future. And then you have tranquil meadow. Find peace and simplicity and enjoy the beauty around you. Well, I think you're doing that. Remember that whole you live, you learn, you love, you learn. I think there is something here around you where you are just, I don't know how to put it into words. There's something here about you just being more grateful for your journey up until this point. And bottom of the deck, we have twilight glow. Embrace the in-between. I said you were in the in-between. Magic happens at twilight. Let's get you a couple of kippers for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. Let's get some kipper cards. I see that Hermit again. So again, a lot of gratitude for where you've been, but also knowing that that door is shutting behind you. 2 cards here for that top row. We have privileged lady. I always see that as 9 of Pentacles. So you are becoming, whether you're masculine or feminine, could be privileged man, single, free, independent of something, poverty. It's run out, right? It's like the 5 of Pentacles. It's time to move on. It's time to abandon it. It's time to pivot and move in a new direction. 2 cards here for the middle row. If by chance some of you have a choice between 2 lovers, you're moving towards the new. Have to throw that out there. So this might be the spouse or the partner that doesn't want you to go. Again, little class 5 clinger. And that 4 of Swords to Ace of Cups could be like, we could go to counseling or marital therapy. And you're like, no, thank you. Moving on towards a new person. So we have sudden wealth. 777 might be another angel number. You might want to look up the meaning of that. And then we have marriage. Yeah, you're moving towards a new partnership, a new contract. Okay, whether it's professional, platonic, or romantic. Even if that's just a partnership with yourself. One that you feel will be more abundant, more happy, more successful. New chapter of your life here. And we have occupation. Did we have a flipper there? No. One more card here. 2 cards came out. Occupation, toil and labor, and child is in the reverse. You are giving birth to something new. You are not revisiting this. Remember I said it's like this gestation period. So you're not giving, you're not returning back. You're not going to nurture this other thing. In fact, it's like you're making it your job to not return. You're moving forward here. We have high honor. We have coffin. Told you. Main male, main female. Not sure who you are. I don't read body parts. But you are choosing to hold yourself in high honor. You are putting an end to this chapter. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you energetically what's here. If it's not your message, don't take it. But you're moving. For some of you, it is relocation, or it's just creating a new structure, moving towards a new structure, a new foundation here in your life. We have the pathway, and we have the thief card. Unexpectedly, that person comes back around. Okay, that 7 of Swords person. I think you see them for what they are. You're a lot more mature and wiser than you were when you first met them. And I don't feel like this time around they're going to be able to like talk their way or bamboozle you into staying. You seem to be pretty resolute here that you're moving on and moving forward, and they are not invited to your next chapter. That is what I have for you, Aquarius, for July 2026. If you like that message, it resonates with you, you want to claim all or part of it, please be sure to click like, share, comment, subscribe, hype the video on your mobile device if you're able to do that. And don't forget to check out your other placements. Until I read for you again, I am wishing you good luck, and as always, light, love, and peace.